You've reached call in Mockery.
Oh God, these guys are funny.
All right, everybody.
Hey, have you guys been kicked off Netflix with the recent crackdown on password sharing? See, I'm one of these dirty hippies that's moosing off of someone else, and I was just curious if someone else is dealing with this issue. Also, I feel like it's not been every episode that you guys have talked about Austin Powers, and I really miss when you did that.
Yeah.
So, have at it.
Well, first off, Dirty Hippie is one of my favorite Clint Eastwood roles. I'm just hoping that we get a reboot of that sometime.
Yeah.
Or one of these sort of reunion specials. You know, maybe not a movie where he comes back as Dirty Hippie, but he at least, like, we get a little HBO Max. Oh, I'm sorry, a Max. We get an hour special where he's sitting on a soundstage and he's like, Dirty Hippie was my favorite role. It made me the man I am today. And then he just falls over.
I liked his sidekick in my favorite movie of his sidekick, Empty Cherry. So I really like that. I hope maybe we get him and Cherry back together, sort of like a 5 years later.
Yeah.
He's like, well, gas went down. Empty Cherry.
Yeah.
Gas prices went down. Everyone's like, woo.
And then it just cuts to an empty chair. E.
Yeah. The Empty Cherry.
Yeah, of course. Like a certain show that we got to see this weekend. Got a big laugh.
Yes.
That's just funny.
And then the other important part of this is, well, I don't remember having corn.
What is that?
What else? I didn't have any corn.
Whoa, what is that?
That's a little character known as a little bastard man.
From what? Just you came up with that.
Yes.
A new
I
character.
came up with the character of Dirty Bastard Man.
That almost sounds like a character I came up with.
This does? What's he sound like?
So
he sounds like this.
yeah, and he puts his middle finger up to the side of his, and he goes, "I want some money."
So you based
And he's called Professor Mad.
Sorry, so you based your character off of my
No.
Lorne Michaels character.
What?
So you made a character and you based it off my Lorne Michaels. Come
Yeah.
on, Mr. Bigglesworth. We're going to get some popcorn.
And he's called Professor Mad. I want some peanuts.
I got to tell you, man, I don't like that. I don't like that you did that. You stole my character.
So we've hit SNL. We've hit, what do you say? Austin Butler.
Austin Butler. We didn't
movies.
hit Austin Butler.
What? No. What are we, Ezra Miller?
Hey, if Ezra comes at me, I'm going to come back. Well, no, I'll hit him back.
Them.
Here, play that clip of Austin Butler like 2 years before he played Elvis.
I'm really happy to be on the Carrie Diaries. I love Carrie. If I had to pick which Sex and the City character I would be, well, first of all, I'd be Samantha. But Carrie is who I would like to be with. So I'm so excited that I get to...
Pause. I think I'm a Samantha. He completely changed after
everything.
he did the movie.
Yeah. Strange, isn't it?
Now he's a Samantha? It's just despicable. Me. Remember when he stole the moon? Did he achieve stealing the moon in the movie?
Did he achieve stealing the moon? I don't know. I think you put baby powder on it and you don't achieve anymore.
It's kind of a southern thing. I put we put apostrophes where they don't belong. The other thing was the Netflix password crackdown.
Oh yeah.
So you're a dirty hippie, right? So first of all, I need to crack my liquid death.
Yeah.
Ow. Okay.
It's thick and green.
Just water, huh? Think again. So what was the actual question here?
It was about the Netflix password crack down.
Yeah, he was curious if we're also dealing with the issue. I have a gaggle of dirty hippies that mooch off of my. Here's how my household is set up, and I think how most people in America is set up. This is America. I pay for Netflix. That should be the new Pledge of Allegiance. I pay for Netflix.
Under God.
Indivisible. My subscription goes up every year.
For which it stands, one nation.
And then there's
under
Quibi.
Under
One go 90.
one nation under monthly subscription contract, for which I sit on the couch.
Yeah. Or in your lazy boy.
Yeah. Does anyone have those no more though? Because I think like no more people are sitting in lazy boys.
Go ahead and let us know if anybody has those no more.
I had this huge event this weekend, and I was really hoping off the back of that we'd get a few new listeners this week who would be like, "Oh, I liked that thing that I saw." So I'm gonna check this out.
I think I was listening to a
what
podcast.
the hell?
I was listening to a podcast this week, not my own. And they were just a couple guys that I don't really know much about, and they were just doing this, and they're just talking. I'm like, I get that. This is for their fans.
Sure.
They do their videos on the side, and this is kind of where they get to be real, right?
Yes.
So I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Landon, he's on the stage and screen. He's doing all these characters, and you're going, God, this guy's got so much in his head. How do you even be a different person without literally going and saying, never turning back into yourself?
All right.
So you're thinking about that. You're thinking about how you probably saw him afterwards, eating popcorn, eating nacho, eating a mozzarella stick, and you're like, just give the guy a break, right? So then you come to the show, and you're thinking he's going to be kooky and wild. He's just being himself.
Yes.
What you got there?
I just want to throw this on because my hair is weird.
Okay. That's good for this audio medium. No, so my house, let's say I pay for Netflix.
Okay, let's say it.
And then basically I pay for Netflix and I say, go, be free, use my password here, there, everywhere. Then every other service I have is basically someone else's. I think it's all pretty even.
It all what's that? It all comes out in the Waterloo.
Not that Mr. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Netflix, is getting my money.
Underwear and like my linens that I separate and stuff in
Well,
the wash. He's not getting that stuff.
Actually, you know what? He probably is. That's where your missing socks go in the dryer.
Okay, I just discovered my missing socks go to Jeff Bezos.
All the socks come to me. I took him to space. I took Shatner to space. He's depressed now.
So I do want to say, we're done with the voicemail. He got what he needed, right?
You didn't answer him.
What?
Is this issue?
Okay, well, here, if you want the truth, yes. We share a Netflix. We share a Netflix account with a few people on my in-law side of the family. And one day we were kicked out.
And who's paying for it?
We pay and they play. And then we logged on to look and see. And at this point, Netflix kind of doesn't have anything anymore anyway.
Yeah, and it's the most expensive one that I pay for.
Yeah. And you're like, do an ad version. I know.
They do.
Oh, they do now?
But it's $7.20.
Whoa.
So, oh my God. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even say that to be the thing with the
drinking from straw.
Oh.
But you're at the empty milkshakes at the end. Because
there's one kind of big chunk of strawberry
ice,
and a big chunk of ice. So you're trying to get around them because it keeps going. You have to go.
And it happens 720 times before you finally just give up and throw the cup
That's
away.
where the number came from. For all you smoothie heads at school.
So you have so it's 720 for the ad version?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one screen.
Yeah, never mind.
720.
I don't want that because it is nice to not have commercials, but every other service I have has commercials.
Yeah.
And it is just TV, and we don't need to discuss it anymore. But we got kicked out, and we said, and then we reclaimed it as our own. And then we kind of realized, I think because it says like, are you away on business or something? Like it says, are you traveling? So I think if you just say yes, you can just keep kicking. Like you can still share it.
I think that's where my mom went wrong. I don't think she knew what was coming because then my brother texted me. He was like, hey, we sent you a password, like a temporary code.
Yeah.
And it was like, here, you can use this since you're away. Yeah. I was like, naughty boy.
Yeah. So I think you can just still do it. It just takes a couple extra steps. And look, from what I hear, Black Mirror season 6 isn't enough for me to jump through all the hoops. So
what am I watching on Netflix? Who cares? You got something?
So we did have this is just for the kids following along at home. We've talked a lot about the fact that Joey's hot. This has come up a few different times. We had a guest expert who is sort of a professor of hotness. And you can go back and find that episode. I think it was The Problem with Joey or something. The Thing About Joey.
The Thing About Joey. I don't know. I don't listen to him.
And we discussed that Joey is hot. And, everyone keeps telling me this. They pulled me over on the street and they say, first of all, do you know how fast you were going? And I say, yes, 20. And they're like, yes, this is the interstate. That's very dangerous. Yeah. And then they say, by the way, your assistant host is hot. And I say, what? And they're like,
seems demeaning.
Yeah, the guy that you let hosts with you sometimes on your podcast and stuff.
Maybe I should listen to the show.
He's hot. And I'm like, well, he's kind of interesting looking, and then his personality makes up for it. And they're like, no, he's physically attractive. His personality means nothing. I just want to look at him. And so people keep saying stuff like this, and all I've been asking is for someone to just say definitively, but you also are good looking. No one wants to say that.
I've said it. When you come to me in your time of need, and you go, this person told me to tell you that you're hot. And I go, I feel bad for this guy. I go, oh, you do. Thanks so much. And I sign his little titters, and I go on my way.
Well, this weekend, for some reason or another, more people saw me than they usually do.
Okay.
Because we have about, I don't know.
Okay, good. This is about you.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, no one mentioned you this weekend. But
that's good to know.
I got to think. Let me just say. So I was sent a little morsel of information that says, your buddy, me, looks like Henry Cavill.
Wow.
Now, then I got to thinking, well, I'm sure some people think Henry Cavill. Maybe that's not a compliment. I think he's like a pretty man.
Judging by a lot of comments I read this week, for some reason, I don't need to get into it.
What the hell?
But I think it's a compliment.
I take it as a compliment.
He's kind of my hall pass.
He's a hottie.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to watch the next the Mission Impossible as I prepare for the new one.
Yes.
Because he's coming up.
Yes.
And I get to see him cock his arms to get ready to fight.
And he has a mustache.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever seen the videos of Tom Cruise talking about him cocking his arms?
Where he watches the clip.
And he's like, that's awesome.
And he's like, we keep watching it.
That's just so cool when he cocks his arms.
He's like, I don't know. It's just awesome.
It's just to be a person that makes him lose his mind.
Yeah.
Who has done it? Katie Holmes and that guy. Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Those are the only two people that have blown his mind into smithereens. That's got to be something. So anyway, yes, I look like Henry Cavill from someone. Now, I don't know who this person is who said it. I keep it anonymous.
But do you know in your own life?
No.
Oh, man. I thought this was going to be those. You know when you listen to a podcast and they go, well, they were talking about this person on set, and they go, I'll
Right.
tell you off the pod.
Yeah,
It's
you're
to
like,
be in
"Just
that
say it."
situation. Yeah.
Just tell us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know either.
So, but you can
Isn't
say
that
it.
the point?
Yeah. But you can just say it and be like, okay, so Jake Johnson had a bad day on
Yeah.
set. It doesn't affect anything.
Is that going to get back to Jake? And he's like, heard you said I had a bad day on set.
believe you said I really mean to you on set. I'm sorry if I had a smoothie knocked onto my head. I had to wake up early to get into makeup.
It's not. It was nothing like that, Jake. It was just part of the overarching stories that you were having a bad day. Nothing against you. Loved working with you on Let's Be Cops.
Yeah, I just wish you wouldn't have said that on the podcast.
Hey, put that down.
I really
hey,
wish you
hey.
wouldn't have said that on a podcast.
That's a sharp toilet seat. Oh, I don't remember having any corn. I hope my wire team's ready.
one other thing that
One other thing
that kind of came up and it made me go like, why do people do this?
Yeah. I do have a list too.
You ever been in a situation where someone will, I mean, we haven't because we're not parents, but this is kind of a joke that people do to parents of kids.
Yeah.
Maybe kids that are exceptional or at least kind of cool or they've done something nice or whatever. And you will go up to the parent and be like, God, your kid is awesome. How the hell did a piece of shit like you make something so cool like that?
Hey, you did one thing right.
And you're like, it couldn't have been you. It had to be your wife that done it. It had to be your cool husband that done it. Because you're a piece of shit. You couldn't make a kid that's cool. You're a sack of shit.
Hey, you take a DNA test on this kid?
Are you sure that's
it's all yours.
You sure that's not the very talented milkman's kid? Because you're kind of a piece of shit.
Hey, Culligan, man, why don't you take a DNA test? Make sure this isn't your kid when you're dropping off gallons of water at home.
You know, I heard the UPS driver could sing 10 octaves. And your kid can sing 10 octaves. What can you do, you piece of shit?
So that is kind of something that people will do. They're like, how did you do it? How did you pull it off? Just a weird, like it's meant to be a compliment, and usually it's taken in good humor. But
That's your point?
It's just a weird
Just
thing
weird.
to say.
It's a bit of a backhanded compliment, right?
I mean, it's meant. Anytime I've ever heard it, it's meant completely in good humor, in good
jest.
faith, in jest, and it's a loving thing of like you. Really, the subtext is you're a good person. You did something right to make a good kid. But if you are someone who overthinks things, you might take it as
You're a piece of shit.
I feel like this happened to you and
No,
you don't
no.
have a kid.
no.
But you're like, if you're someone who overthinks it, and it's kind of weird that they would say this about me or my...
I just think about stuff. It's kind of that old mind of mine, you
It's
know.
a
It's always
thinking
kind of
man's thing.
working, you know. This is the type of stuff that a real comic
Yeah.
genius has to come up with.
It's
when
not
you're
simply
like,
your life, it's the life of others. It's what is this... What to err is to human, right?
Yeah.
But to hair...
It's a wabbit.
what do you got?
Okay, we'll be right back after this commercial.
Wow.
All right, we're back, and we've got a commercial to play. We do a thing on the show, which is where we basically listen to a commercial and go, that's bad, right? So I've got one in mind, but I couldn't find it. So I'm going to play a different one, and we're just going to see where this goes. Okay? We might have a way to fix it, but it's just the way that the words are spoken, the message seems to be a little more insulting than I think they understand. Let's play this.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
Those stomach issues ruined your birthday.
Okay, so do you have heart issues and you often hear someone tell you those stomach issues ruined your birthday? What a mean thing to say. And do you often hear that? Your birthday's one day. Let's go back a little bit here.
After this.
No.
Made bright.
No.
Oh my god.
Orange wheel. Yeah. New level.
No.
Blue stuff.
No.
It was kind of.
What is going on?
Hold on.
It feels like a multiverse of podcasts that you listen to.
So. I kind of kept doing it as a joke, and I did lose my spot. But that's it. That's all I wanted to play.
Losing my podcast spot.
I think the next two are like make sense. They're like, you can't go outside. Your heart's failing. But you have heart failure, and you often hear
your stomach issues ruined your birthday.
A woman angrily telling you,
Yeah.
those stomach issues ruined your birthday.
So,
Do you often hear that?
well, I don't have heart issues yet.
No, that's what. Hey, but when you have that kid, now let me tell you something. That kid will break your heart, but it'll make it grow anew.
When you have a child, it is like your I don't have heart issues, but my brain doesn't work no more.
The first time you put on your kid's prom suit over their diapers,
it's like your beating heart and your blood is walking around out in a prom suit and diapers.
It's gonna break your heart and make it anew.
Yep.
Sorry, it's gonna make it Agnew.
Yeah. Oh, that Marvel character?
Yeah.
It was Agnew all along.
It was Agnew. It was Agnew. And we're just like, oh,
I love silly songs.
okay. Agnew is everything. We must protect Agnew at all costs.
We need a full miniseries.
There needs to be a
just
full
about
miniseries about someone who's good and then actually bad. And that's basically their whole story. But we need to have a whole story about it, even though this show was their story. Just shut up. Shut the hell up.
Shut up.
Did you watch anything?
You're done with your commercial?
I can't find. I'm not going to sit here. The
Yeah.
episodes are short now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I wanted to play you. It's funny.
It is funny. Because it's not the first. Maybe I'd start with like.
That's the thing. The two more, and God, if I could find them. But it's just like.
And hey, it's
second
not
one's
a two
like,
more.
Are you okay? You know? But
Right.
the first one is those stomach issues ruined your birthday.
And like, what do you care, lady?
But yeah,
It's my birthday.
it's my birthday.
Go take a hike.
And if you're one of those, it's my birthday week people, take a hike off a cliff.
Take a hike. Go up to a place called Mount Trashmore, which is a big pile of trash that they threw grass seed all over. And it smells like trash still. And take a hike.
I come from humble beginnings. My hometown has a Mount Trashmore. It's true. It's true.
You want to talk about what we watched?
I guess. Wait, do I have anything else? Pete. Can you tell me if you've got anything else on there? Okay. Okay, first of all, cookie debacle at the Doubletree. Told you about this.
Okay.
Go to Doubletree.
Yeah.
They go, welcome to the Doubletree. You know, okay. And he says, here's the thing is, okay. And take the elevator. Okay. And this is really how he told me. So I was scared. He goes, I hate to do this to both of you.
You gave our room away.
That's what I'm like. So you gave our room away. We've got a smaller room. It's not the beds, or our room's not actually, your room's not ready yet.
Yeah.
We're actually out of the cookies, which is, for my money, they really are the best reason to stay at a Doubletree. So, and I was like, oh, that's okay. And he goes, no. What you're going to do is you're going to come back down here and you're going to tell them you need 2 cookies. And I go, okay. Knowing that I'm 30 years old. I'm not going to march back. Sorry, 35. I'm not going to march back to the counter.
I demand my cookies.
I drove all the way to Madison, Wisconsin from the Wisconsin Dale, and I need my cookie. My chocolate chip on peanut cookie. The young whippersnapper up at the front desk not 3 hours ago.
That man's 78.
Told me you are out of cookies. The same cookies that are on your mobile things that fly down the street. They pick you up from the airport. They drop you off here. The whole picture on the side of the van is one big cookie.
So how are they out, but they're going to get more?
Well, and that's it. He never told me when to come back down. So do I go back down and go, hey, I was told I could get some cookies from
and then they're like, yeah, we're out.
Yeah, and I'm going to get made fun of by a child that works
cookies?
there.
Oh, you hungry? You hungry? You hungry? You want a cookie? Hello, you hungry? Here's a cookie for you.
Take a hike up
Here's
the
a
Mount
cookie for you.
Trashmore.
Here's a cookie for you. You ever been to Cedar Rapids? Check out Mike Trashmore. Mike Trashmore's there. That's who it's named after.
Yeah, Michael J. Trashmore.
It's not like,
he came up with the idea.
Yes.
He was like, what if our giant landfill, what if we just put like grass seed all over
Who's
it?
on your Mount Trashmore?
Well,
I think...
Gotta be Dana Carvey. He could do it all. What?
Yeah.
He could do Asian characters.
Yes.
He could do Indian
That's getting awfully close to John Belushi.
Well,
Most famous for doing an Asian character.
He's on Mount Trashmore.
Yes. Dana, John.
Shane Gillis, the guy who got fired for before he could do an Asian character.
Yeah. It's too bad. It's one of those things where it's like when someone dies too early and you go, they could have done. Imagine if Heath Ledger was in
SNL.
Yeah. And
He
you
could
go,
have done an Asian character.
you just think about that like, God, you're right. We did miss out on this certain thing that really would have happened. And then there's the country singer guy got kicked off of SNL.
Oh, yeah, Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Too bad about that, too.
You can't kick me out. I live here.
Willie, we told you. Okay, it's not 7:20 all the time.
Did you get the cookies then or no?
No. I just cut my losses.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Jeez, I thought you were going to say something else.
I just cut
The cheese?
and it was also the rooms were bing, 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 bing. They're getting taken up. I refreshed the page. I'm like, there's no more king beds. Repeat, there's no more king beds. Are we taking this place or not? We get there. The parking lot is completely full. There is, for some reason, there's a little league baseball tournament happening in town that has descended upon the town. All the rooms around ours have big baseball stickers on them, say Coach Andy and Nick.
That's like a Stephen King book or something. It's like I thought I was in Maine. For
That is scary.
Isn't that terrifying?
I've got another terrifying. I watched a movie that was probably Stephen King's favorite movie.
Scary Cars. Fast X.
Not yet.
Fast 9.
Not yet.
Fast 8.
Fast 8, also known as The Fate of the Furious.
That's right.
The cars come alive. I don't want to spoil anything. I just did. But the cars, okay, in the middle of the movie, so you've got Charlize Theron with her
Oh, yeah.
dreadlocks, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a wig.
No.
Thought it was, not. In the middle of the movie, she hijacks all of the smart cars.
Yeah. That's right.
The
Which
chips
is cool.
in all the cars.
Yeah.
And they descend upon the street like waves.
Yeah.
But they're cars.
It's like World War Z, but cars.
And she drives them out the windows on like kamikaze missions to crash. And I just imagine Stephen King watching this, just pissing his pants.
It's happening! Martha, come in here!
Joe Hill!
The prophecy is true!
Son, why don't you want to use my last name? Everyone knows that you and listen, you're not as good of a writer. The book we wrote together, And everyone thinks you're Jody Hill now.
They do?
I don't know why. They think you're making righteous gemstones. Do King. We can be together on the bookshelf. I'm next to Koontz.
I'm tired of being next to Coons.
I don't want to be next to Koontz anymore.
I want to be next to King.
Dad, my first name starts with a J. they'd probably put me before you on the shelf, so you'd still be next to Coons. No. Yeah, this movie's awesome, and I can't wait for Fast 9. I've kind of slowed down. I've got some other stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch Indiana Jones. Watch the first 2.
Where are you at with that? You're on?
Watch first 2.
Okay.
Do I still think the second one is my least favorite? I love it, but I'm also one of those people that's like, shut the up about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm excited to get there and watch it again. These are fun movies.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be part of this crowd that's also like, you know what? Actually, you're right. It actually is good. And people don't. No, I've been saying that since day one. I liked it when it came out.
Yes.
I don't care what you think about.
I wish that we had the platform that we do now and the millions of listeners when we were in middle school.
Yeah.
When I was saying
We should have. That would have been novel.
yeah. Now it's we make 10,000 every month from our Patreon, but
Yeah.
it's still, we would have been making more as children. Anyway, because I have the same opinions then as I do now, which you might be thinking, that's actually bad. No, it's good because you've all come around to the right opinion, which I had from the beginning. Actually, I just watched Temple of Doom and actually it's kind of good. Yeah, it is good.
Same with the prequels. Why am I getting all this Star Wars prequel stuff now?
Actually, I just rewatched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and other than a couple of choices, it's actually really fun and right in line with the rest of the series. Yeah, no shit.
Oh, aliens are real? You mean like the second one when he pulls a beating heart out of someone and they're still alive? Kooky things happen.
I will say this. I watched all of them.
You did?
Yes.
You hate Kingdom of Crystal Skull?
No. It's better than I remember. And even back then, I was like, I know there's stuff wrong with it, but I still love it. It's fun. Harrison Ford, I still don't get this because people were like, he's so wooden. He's having the time of his life in that movie. I don't know what people are seeing. Am I just, I'm not. I know I'm not. I'm right. He's having fun.
I'm almost there. I'll let you know.
Anyway, it's great. The first 2/3 of that movie are as good as any of the other Indiana Jones movies, in my opinion. The Fridge is funny. It's good. I don't care what you say. I literally don't care what you say.
Stuff happens to him in the other ones that are crazier.
I will say Temple of Doom, I forgot that the last 50 minutes is action.
That's in my head when I was like, that's not my favorite. Then I'm like, oh no, it's the whole mind part.
My heart was racing.
Yeah.
I was abuzz after watching it. And because if I've seen Raiders and Last Crusade 100 times, I've seen Temple of Doom 50 times. Okay, I still love it. I've always loved it, but it is you kind of have to be in the right mood to throw it on. And with the other ones, you can just kind of throw them on, have them in the background. And you come in, you see the tank chase and Last Crusade, and you're like, God, they just don't make movies like this anymore. But then you look at Temple of Doom. They don't make movies like that anymore.
I thought of that as I was watching it.
It's fun
when they're pulling a short round between the two cards, and I was just like, I think this is all that movies should be.
Yes.
Aren't movies supposed to make us feel like we can do anything? Aren't we watching movies to see something we can't see? And I like movies like Landon's favorite movie, Phantom Thread, where it's a guy being like, I'm going to make a dress now. All right, do your thing. But I'm watching a fake thing. I want to see someone do something crazy. I want to see a hero.
Yes. And it doesn't let up, Temple of Doom. It's so to the point where I was like, Last Crusade. Then I watched Last Crusade and I was like, this one's almost kind of boring at parts. And it's my favorite one.
It's kind of introspective.
It's my favorite one, but the finale of Last Crusade, I'll let you rewatch it.
Thanks.
Before we get there. But it's just I love Indiana Jones. My favorite movie of all time is the 2.5 hour documentary of the making of Indiana Jones that came on that DVD set.
If there's one thing that I could tell anyone, and no one here is listening to us for our advice on filmmaking, but just don't go to college. Just watch that.
Just watch that.
They showed it to me in college. I paid them, and I'd seen it before. So I was like, I came here to learn more. And they're like, well, this is it.
This is
You want to see how to do it? It's this.
Yeah.
Here you go. Okay, well.
That is what, when people are like, what made you want to get into this? And I know I'm no one, by the way, so it doesn't matter. But that, not the movies, that is what made me want to pursue anything creative.
This is also when I talked with the person with which I live, and she's happy to go see the new one. She's like them, but she's like, they're not.
I heard she doesn't like it.
Well, we got in. I was like,
okay.
So why did you? She goes, well, it's not that I don't like them. She goes, they're just not. I was like, well, we get it. She's like, you guys just get excited about specific things.
Stuff.
Well, I was like, I think for me, it's like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I know I have a connection of it from when I was a kid.
Sure.
And I went, this guy's real. Mm-hmm. These things are happening on the screen are real. But I still watch them going, how do they do this?
Yeah.
That's it also. It's not just the story. It's like, how did they do it? How did they think about this and just figure this out as they went along? You've got to.
Yeah.
It's the 80s, baby.
Well, and that's what I love about the Mission movies. They're doing now what those did for us, I would imagine. I hope that kids are watching those movies and being like, oh, you can just, if you put your mind to it, you can actually just do it. Sure, there's tricks. There's stuff going on.
You
movie
gotta erase
magic,
a couple wires.
But for the most part, there's such a tactile feeling to the indie movies that you're like, no, a guy is riding a horse, jumping onto a tank, and punching people on a tank. And he's doing it. And a tank drives off a cliff. And it does. Anyway. And then you find out how they did it. And some of it is they just did it, and some of it is the magic of making movies.
But then some of it's even
looks
just
so
like
real.
a
It
miniature.
looks so
And you
good.
go, that's crazy.
Yeah. I love it.
Someone made that?
I love it. And, I mean, Harrison Ford is just undeniable, isn't he?
And I'm scared to see the new one.
I know.
It keeps going, it's about death. Because I know I'm almost there.
I wanted you to see how goddamn old I am.
But now that he's being sincere in his little, he's not just going on being like, okay, whatever. Now I'm also getting the little video clips where it's like, I made Harrison Ford cry in it. It's like, don't memify this man. Don't put him in your little, I told him thank you and it made him cry, so watch this. It's like, well, guess what? Now it's not genuine anymore, you arse.
Did you watch those? Let me show you something. The funniest. This is from the Indiana Jones TikTok account. Did you see this?
No. Here we go.
Are you up for some snacks?
Bring it on. Let's go.
Great.
Wait for cookie.
Harrison Ford tries
All the way from
foods.
Berlin.
Berlin cookie.
I kind of like it.
Great.
Black and white cookies.
There we go.
From New York. Good. Second snack from Berlin. Pretzel.
They zoom in.
Good. Cookies.
Those are from Italy.
They have stars on them. I enjoy these.
And then some mint tea from Morocco, very palate cleanser.
Nothing like cold tea.
It's from the official account. They made him do that.
Boring ass. Poor guy.
They made it good.
It's for a thing called TikTok, Harrison. I'll kill you. Good. Here's a pretzel. What do you think of this pretzel? I like.
Good. I kind of like these. Nothing like cold tea. That's funny. But he does that because he loves indie.
Yeah.
If anyone else asked him to do that for any other movie, he would fly a plane into your house. Not on purpose.
But he wouldn't be sorry either.
No. Okay, so I watched Temple of Doom, and then I have to get to this.
Yeah.
That night, I watched it in the morning. And then that night, I went to The Flash. I was buzzing all day after watching Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
It struck me so much more than it ever has, I think. But then I went to The Flash, and I just kind of got deflated by the whole thing. The Flash is pretty good. Here's what I'll say. It's pretty good. Is it the best superhero movie like James Gunn was trying to tell everyone? Of course not. We all know that. Are people maligning it unfairly? Probably not. The CGI is bad, and I know the director has said, well, actually, it's supposed to be bad because it's Barry seeing it from the Speed Force. You're like, well, also, you had like 12 years to make this movie. You couldn't have polished it up a little. I don't know. But I always come down on the side of CGI being good or bad. The movie being good can make that not matter. Mm-hmm. So if that's your only complaint, I don't fully believe you, because the movie is good. It's just, the story of the Flash. His mom died and whatever. His dad's in prison.
Barry.
It's all that stuff. And of course, by the end, I was tearing up in the theater of me and 2 other people. No one wants to see this movie, which I get. They've messed everything up with DC. They've announced that none of this matters. So people that know that are like, stupid. I don't need to see this. Ezra Miller is a criminal. So a lot of people not supporting it for that reason, which I understand.
I understand, but it's hard to... They made it. I don't think they knew that. It's like...
Yeah, it was before Ezra did all the stuff. Mm-hmm. And it seems like they're kind of just going to get away with it.
Also crazy, but
I don't know. So I don't know, that sort of thing. But also I'm of the mind that I want to see a movie, so I'm going to just go see it because 12,000 other people worked on it.
I do want to see it. I did, just out of nowhere, I saw a spoiler someone posted. I was infuriated. Just, it's not even an important thing.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, I'll tell you later. You probably know what it is.
I will say all of the cameos I saw spoilers for.
Okay.
Beforehand.
So it was about a cameo, and I was just like, why?
Except one.
And then someone said, again, I always see this, and I hate, usually someone's just saying, can we not post spoilers? Which they're just shouting into a void.
Right.
Because your comment on something means nothing. We live on a world. We live in a society. But your stupid comment on that's why I don't comment on anything. Sure. Except sometimes I do, and then people see me and they go, "I saw you getting mad about something."
Yeah, it's always funny.
But I saw this one. Then someone else commented back. It's always like, just do what everyone else does and don't get on social media for 2 weeks. And it's just like, that's not. What are you talking about? Stop saying that to people. They're like, it's not our fault you couldn't go to the movie. It's like, oh, it's not the most important thing in my life, but I do want to still have some joy when I see it. Well, that doesn't mean I just can't get on Instagram or not get on Facebook for 2 weeks for fear of seeing one page that I don't even follow.
That's the thing. I think since the little change over at Twitter, I see more stuff that because it used to be I would follow people who were not spoilers, but now I see everything, and I know it is partially my own fault, but also, like you're saying, we should still be able to live our lives without fear of ruining something that might make us happy.
And I know that's not possible. No. Why should we be happy to live our lives, right?
And did any of the things make me happy? No, not particularly. But I also knew what they were going in. And I was kind of hoping maybe I hadn't seen all of them on the internet. But turns out I kind of did. And they, I don't know. I'm not going to spoil anything here, to be sure. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. But I think it worked. Ezra Miller is good. I like their performance. They're playing two versions of Barry. I mean, you know that if you've seen a trailer. That's not a spoiler.
Their performance as Barry in the previous movies or movie, whatever, annoyed me.
Yeah. If you didn't like it there, you're not going to like it here, I imagine.
But they do play 2 versions, and the trailer surprised me. I was like, oh, I might like them in this more. Their acting, of course, because we know in real life, They may be psychopath.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd suggest seeing it if you have an interest to see it.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies out that I gotta see that are coming up. I gotta see. So
Yeah, see so.
yeah,
I hope.
go 90.
I hope so. Anything else? We're going a little long today, but that's okay. Right?
Yeah, you got something else?
Oh no.
I think that's it.
Okay.
We're gonna go see Indiana Jones.
We're gonna see the Dial of Destiny. We'll try to let you know what we think about it as
Probably
soon
go
as we
see
can.
Mission Impossible. We'll let you know how that goes.
As soon as we can. Oh, did you see the Empire movie podcast that always talks to Christopher
No,
McQuarrie?
I gotta listen to that.
I don't think it's out yet. But
Oh yeah,
I saw it, that it was an all-day recording. Because the one for whatever the last movie was.
it was like 2 parts. Or was it just long? It was
2 parts because it was
Yeah.
like 6 hours total.
I listened to all of it.
Yeah, and it was that. So if you want to know how to make movies, listen to that.
Because it's the same spirit as Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, I don't know. Indiana Jones just seems like some of the stuff you're doing. That's the other thing that excites me. I'm like, you can do anything you want. Like, is it a weird idea to have, okay, so then they're on George Lucas and then he's on they're racing through the mines and it jumps and lands on the other side. It's like, that just sounds, someone might be like, that sounds stupid. That wouldn't happen. It's like, just do it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It jumps up and it lands on the other side. Then they go out in the water. They dump a bunch of water that they have saved up for some reason. I don't give a shit why.
Yeah.
All the kids down there are starving and thirsty, but they got a bunch of water.
They got a big bucket
They knock
of
it
water.
over,
They knock
and it busts through. And then you see this huge bridge, and it's like, that's got to be real. And you just start laughing because you know someone's gonna get on there, right?
That's the other thing. Okay, and then we'll stop. And then we'll be done. The bridge. No one does this anymore. Where there's a set piece and you know exactly what's going to happen, and then they pull it off and it's perfect. But it's not just the fall. It's that the water underneath is infested with crocodiles.
That will dance when they eat you. They will have fun.
No one does that anymore.
It's not just the water. It's like then they show that they've been consumed.
Yes. And they set it up. They show you this water. Yeah, it has crocodiles in it too. So even if you think you're going to fall into the water, and the stakes are always perfectly laid out in front of you. And no one, that's just so, nowadays it's Dom driving a car through 3 buildings, which is awesome. But you don't get that added sort of little like, oh my God. And then if he doesn't do it, he'll also be eaten by a shark or whatever, you know? And they just did stuff different back then.
This is where Mission Impossible, and this goes to this podcast they do. Well, I'm just saying I don't like spoilers. But with these movies, they right up front, they're like, here's all the stunts we did. Here's how we did them.
Yes.
Also, the plane, when he's on the plane, you're going to see that first. Because then they said that. They're like, this is within the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
That's not even the craziest thing we did.
Yeah.
We just we wanted to show you this part. And they do that, but it's like when those things come into play then because they set it up, they're like, the plane's taken off. You can't get inside. There's no way to get inside. And you're just like,
you just start cheering.
Inside. And then with the water thing, they're like, you're not going to have no oxygen. It has to be in there for this long. This is how much time. And they just give you all the stakes.
Yeah.
They're like, we're in the tallest building in the world. The elevator's broken or whatever. They tell you all this stuff. So you're just like, he's going to go outside.
He has to. It's the only way.
That's the thing.
That.
They set it up because there's the anticipation from basically titillating you just a little bit. And then the payoff is, it's not like you said, you get the 3 towers, right? For Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
But I don't know he's about to do that. I just think here's where they are.
Yeah.
Then when you see him jump out and you go, oh, okay, awesome. Then he does the 3rd one. Cool. Still great.
Yeah.
But there's that idea of this is going to play into something and I want you to be excited for it.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe that was a bad example because I think they do do a good job. And in fact, I think a couple weeks ago we were squeeing at the fact that they did set up that there are 3 towers that he would have to jump.
They show
it. They show it
as like.
And I think you said they're the best filmmakers ever born. You said something like that.
Probably. I was pretty excited at the time.
And it is exciting.
It's just it's an establishing shot. It's not like they're not setting it up as this is going to play into what happens.
But you can kind of, because the car's on the top floor or whatever.
But then when he drives out and you go, okay.
Yeah.
But
so that was a bad example.
It's not the same, I don't think. I'm not saying they don't do that other places.
No, but I like Indiana Jones because it's not just the peril. This is what the Uncharted movie didn't get, and movies like it that try to be like it. It's not just the peril of the task. We have to get into this room and there's a booby trap. You have to do that, but you also have to go through a sea of bugs and huge bugs, and someone you care about is locked in a different room, and you have to deal with that first, and then there will be some kind of mix-up where they go into the room that you're trapped in, and you go into the room they're trapped in, and then you have to figure that out. There's always an escalation, and they're so good at doing that. And to my knowledge, except for maybe Mission Impossible, I don't think anyone does it as good as Indiana Jones. The escalation of it's not just this guy has to do this. It's this guy has to do this, but there's an issue because his girlfriend is stuck over here, and there's a kid who accidentally sets off a booby trap, and you have to deal with that. And there's bugs, and there's monkey brains that you have to eat, and there's other stuff that is bad that happens too, and there's crocodiles in the river.
Just something to think about.
And it's kind of like, when you're a kid, you're scared of coming across a crocodile and like a bridge.
Yeah, I was always worried that I'd come across the crocodile.
And then you never do. And it's like the quicksand thing. It's like you're always just kind of scared that it's going to be quicksand.
And maybe we'll set that up for next week. I'm going to push you into some quicksand.
It's not quicksand. It's dry sand. I don't know. You'll see.
Yep. Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.